Hi, my name is Tasha, and I bring you awareness that is a skill acquired simply by having the desire and the courage to seek knowledge hidden from the general public. I have studied with some tremendous teachers that have gone outside the box. And here I introduce you to a teacher with whom I trained, who also trained with 3 kahuna masters. Genuine masters, and here he is. 3 genuine kahunas. Here he brings us the truth about the ancient healings and shamanism. Kahuna has now devolved considerably to the point of becoming just a relaxation massage at just about any spa or a bit of entertainment. We don't want that. I'm here to share this amazing video of one man's personal experience with traditional teachings of the masters of Hawaii.
In Hawaii, I had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with different people at different times, with different levels of learning and experience. I had this experience in his training to become what we call a kahuna. Now here is a gentleman that went through a number of years of non-verbal so training, that they would be able to learn to be conversant with trees and talk to trees, talk to plants, talk to rocks, talk to animals, okay, to where they are perfectly in one with nature.
Shaman work with nature to take you beyond human conditioning and beyond self-judgment.
Now, are you ready? After 3 years of non-verbal training, there were 3 people training to become a kahuna. 2 men, 1 woman. And after 3 years, they came to the time when there was a test of poison. All right? The female kahuna trainee was offered a half a coconut shell full of deadly poison. And she drank it, overcame the effects of the poison, and was fine. Didn't faze her. The second person in line, there's a female kahuna here. The kahuna was here. The female was here. She drank her cup, no problem. The one in the middle was a male kahuna trainee. He drank his cup of poison and dropped dead on the spot. Okay. The third one was my teacher, and he took his cup of poison as his friend dropped dead. And he looked at his friend and felt sorry for his friend that had dropped dead after taking the cup of poison. This is what you call sympathy. And when his heart went out in sympathy, where he felt sorry for his friend, the effect of the poison began to penetrate his being, and he had to act very quickly. And he had to very quickly switch from sympathy.
This is critical. Please pay attention to his words. Too many therapists choose to analyze the problem. This is what happens. People get caught up in controlling and resistance.
To empathy. Empathy is understanding that the other person had free will. They didn't exercise it properly. They died. So he very quickly had to shift around to where he felt the poison now, with non-resistance. Listen to my words. And Doug has a story to tell you then. You better get it right.
Non-resistance is key here. Fear, frustration, and analyzing are forms of resistance.
Listen to me on this. He had to experience it in the ever-present now. Now. He felt the poison come into his body. He recreated the poison going into his body. He held his body erect, powerfully strong, assumed the virtue, feeling the poison now, penetrating his very body, re-experiencing it, re-experiencing it, re-experiencing it, re-experiencing it, until there was nothing left to re-experience, and he overcame the cup of poison.
This is intended to help you make sense of how I work with my clients and why we client audio, video, for you to shift your consciousness before we speak.
If you feel sorry for somebody, you're denying the God within them. And you take upon yourself the energy of that person.
Many healers, by engaging with the client's story of pain, take on their sick energy. This then affects how they interpret healing, therefore limiting their own progress and that of their clients.
That who's sick and dying. If you have an understanding heart and you love that person as an eternal soul, knowing that they are manifesting outwardly what they have inwardly manifested, and that so without, so within.
For this reason, you'll hear me engaging the client in their transition process.
And so if you take a position where you feel sorry for a person who's a cripple, you add to the creation of that crippled condition.
However, when you begin to engage in the story of the problem and indulge in the emotional release, that is now referred to shadow work these days, as you are actually adding to their problem, not helping.
But when you can see a person as perfect divine order and there are no mistakes,
in your session, connection to your feelings, you will become aware of the universal laws through direct connection to your body's wisdom, which is your memory chip that was born in with you to the plane.
when they apply the laws to their body and to their mind, they become gradually totally clear and well of that condition that has besieged them perhaps for many years. And that problem that they have had then becomes their greatest teacher. Now, after this one guy dropped dead, the kahuna walked away, the other two followed him. And about 3.5 to 4 days later, he came back, cradled the dead person in their arm, was like a stuffed toad by that time, you know. He cradled him in, blew the breath of life into him, and he came back to life.
This is authentic shamanism. No analyzing, no going back to the problem, just giving life. And no Reiki. It doesn't mix with...
But he was told at that time that he did not have the ability to ever become a kahuna, but he could come along with the rest of them since they've been together and complete their training, which would be about another 7-8 years. I hope you're hearing me. Well, after a little while, he got tired of that, and he quit, and he went to another kahuna to get training from him to become a kahuna. And at that time, he went through the test again, failed it, and died. Okay? That's what happened to him. This is not kid stuff we're talking about here.
The current world has packaged the flutter of every ancient approach, often to discredit true feelings and teachings. I love to bring you these true experiences of personal feelings.